it's Ruby. Today we're going to be hitting two resorts located in Maui on the beautiful island of Hawaii. The two resorts that we're going to be looking at are both located on the west coast of Maui. One is going to be south of the airport, and that is going to be the WORLDMARK Valley Isle, about a 46-minute drive from the airport to the resort. And then the other resort is going to be the WORLDMARK Kihei. It's going to be on the northern west part of Maui, and that's about a 26-minute drive or so from the airport over to the resort. I want to note that both of these properties are available if you have a WORLDMARK by Wyndham or you have Timeshare and you're able to book at a WORLDMARK property. These are the only two WORLDMARK by Wyndham properties located on the island of Maui. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. So we usually stay on Kaanapali Beach. We stay at the Hyatt, the Marriott, kind of depending on what I want to do during that time when we are in Maui. And I decided that I wanted to check out these two resorts and give you some reviews. So we ended up staying one night at both of them, and we stayed at the WORLDMARK Kihei prior to staying at the WORLDMARK Valley Isle. I have a lot of thoughts about it, and I want to share it with you so that you guys are well prepared, because I wasn't as prepared as I should have been, and I think it caught me off guard, and I want to walk you through why that is. So let's first talk about the WORLDMARK. That is located right across from the oh shoot, you know what? I'm gonna put it up on the screen because I don't want to mess it up and you guys will drag me in the comments for saying it wrong. I am so sorry. I should have did a little bit more research on how to pronounce it. A beautiful beach right there across from the resort, and there's also some shops, like a ton of shops, but some shops. It's right on a main road though, so if you do have small children, I would recommend keeping them close to you. And it's not like you walk out of the resort and you're just like on a main street. You would walk out into a parking lot area. And I would say that that is the thing I liked the most about this property. It is in Maui, which is absolutely gorgeous, a stunning location. It is right across from the beach, and you have easy beach access right there. I don't know that I saw a ton of people swimming in the water. Keep that in mind, because you know, you need to be aware of some of the beaches are a little bit more protected, so maybe the tide doesn't pull you as hard as some other ones would, or you might not get as much rough water. But there is a beach right there, and you can walk around. There's a park there and a picnic area, and then you can walk over to the gas stations. Kind of interesting, but I do recommend going to the gas stations when you're in Maui, because a lot of times they'll have mini markets there, and you can get fresh Hawaiian food right there in the marketplace, and it's sometimes a lot cheaper than going to some of the bigger stores. And try to get locally owned food, because you definitely want to support the local businesses there. Number one, this resort is located in a place that I thought was nice. It was really beautiful when you wake up in the morning and you walk around and you see the property. Let's talk about the property a little bit. You are gonna have those beautiful tropical flowers and plants growing all over the place, and you can tell that they took a lot of care and consideration into maintaining the property. I didn't see anything really unkept. There were people there constantly working and keeping up with that. Great, amazing. You really do feel like when you're outside, you're in Hawaii, and it's like one of my favorite places. That in Japan, top two places, beautiful, beautiful. So the property does have a lot of common areas and sitting areas. It is, I would say, kind of a big resort. It's set up kind of like apartments. Resorts in Timeshare, they are kind of like mini apartments. They're meant to be that way. So you'll have the big buildings, and you'll have the common areas with barbecues and chairs that you can sit in. There's elevators, so if you do have some restrictions with getting around, you can catch the elevator. I will say that I felt like there wasn't a lot of elevators, so you do have to kind of walk a little bit to get to your room once you do get in the elevator if you are on a floor that's not on the ground level. So keep that in mind too. There was also a really pretty canopy area. The kids over there one of the mornings, and it was nice. It was just really pretty to sit there, and you can't see the beach if you're facing the back of the building, and unfortunately we were more facing backwards than front, but you can request to have your unit facing the water, and there were some units where you got a really nice view of the water, and there was a ton of parking. It's interesting, on the website they did say that there wasn't a lot of parking. Parking was limited, but I didn't have any trouble finding parking space, and definitely getting there early, having them hold your bag. They do have concierge services if you need to do that, and then just kind of walking around the property, maybe going to the beach. That's really nice and fun too. The other thing I did like about this resort is there is a pool. I will say that shout out to the photographer on the WorldMark website. They did a really good job capturing the pool at night. I couldn't really get as pretty of pictures of the pool, but there is a pool there and a child's pool. It's nice to have a child's pool, especially because sometimes kids are learning to swim or they want to kind of like run around and you want to be stressed out running after them. So I did like that they had those two options. Right next to the pool is their activity center and their rec center. This was really convenient because everything was kind of centrally located, and the front desk lobby area, it was a pretty small lobby area, but that front desk area is also right there. You could go to the gym and use the equipment, take a shower, and pop into the pool if you wanted to, or head to the beach. So all very much located close to each other. Gym itself did have equipment in it, some free weights and some aerobic exercise machines like treadmill. I think I did see a Stairmaster and then elliptical. It wasn't super big. It wasn't super fancy either, but it was practical, and I think a lot of people do like to work out outside when they're visiting a place so beautiful like that. I know I do, so keep that in mind. If you want to have a super fancy gym experience, you're not going to get that at this resort, but it was practical. The activity center, they did have some cultural learning experiences. We unfortunately weren't able to attend any of those classes that they were having, but they did have like this really awesome map of Maui showing where the resort is and some of the historical significance. So it was nice for us in the morning to walk with our kids around and show them the property, but also let them see this area. And if they are doing anything special at the resort, I'm not sure if they're back to doing lei making, but check that out and see if that's an option while you're there. This resort does feature massage. It says spa. I didn't actually see a spa, but they do feature massage. So check in with the concierge to see if they're offering that at the time that you go. This resort does have movie rentals. I mentioned in my last Wyndham review of the Anaheim that some of these places do have movie rentals, and that's a special place in my heart, especially if you have small children and you don't have a smart TV in your room and you want to rent a movie or you want to do something inside the room. That is an option. Now, I mentioned that I was unprepared, and I want to kind of explain what that is. And this is actually a reflection of both resorts. So this resort, the Kihei resort, I did prefer over the WorldMark Valley Isle. Number one was because this was actually a WorldMark property, so if you need help, they have 24-hour support. The staff was excellent. We got in kind of late actually. Our flight was delayed, and it's a pretty long flight to get over to Hawaii. We were looking at about 6 hours for our flight, and they were super helpful. They actually walked us up to our unit, well, almost to our unit, but showed us where the building was because it was kind of dark in the parking lot at night, and they were just very kind and helpful. Once we checked in, they called to see if we needed anything. We really appreciated that. So the units. I was not expecting the units to be as dated as they were. I think the reason behind that was because you're in Maui, and I think Maui is such a popular location. If you do want to stay at this resort, you're probably gonna have to wait list unless you get the rooms right at opening for your window of booking, or if you find it on like Airbnb or something like that. It's kind of challenging to get into the resort. And I think that that surprised me given the condition of the rooms. They weren't bad. They weren't bad by any means. They just were a lot more dated than I expected for a prime location like Maui. And we've stayed at the Club Wyndham and WorldMark that's in Kona, which was absolutely beautiful. I felt like the inside matched the outside. And this property was really nice, but the buildings themselves and the rooms weren't what I expected. We only had a 1-bedroom because we were only going to be staying for a night. So 1 bedroom featured a Murphy bed in the main bedroom, and the bathroom was shared. There wasn't a private bathroom, but you could enter the bathroom from the room and the hallway. There was a TV in there. It was not anything fancy or new, but it was practical. The bed was comfortable. It was a queen, medium support. Pillows would say that they were more firm than soft, but perhaps you could ask if you could get soft pillows if you needed that, or check with the bed pillows because those were inside the living room area attached to the bed. So you could look at that. This unit sleeps 4 people, and we were able to do that comfortably. There's a closet in the room with a place for you to put your suitcase, but there was only 1. So again, if you're traveling with more than a few people that have multiple suitcases, that might be a challenge for you. You might have to use maybe the table outside in the living room. There was a dresser, a small dresser right there. Storage was practical, I guess. The closet was small, a few hangers in there. It just wasn't like fancy. I'll say that. I'd like to say that depending on where I'm going, I'll like mentally prepare myself. If I'm staying at something that's advertised as like a 4-star hotel or something like that, I'm expecting like prime and perfect, I guess. If I'm staying at what I was expecting to be a 3-star, where I think this would be more like 2.5, I'm a little bit more flexible with what I'm thinking. So I think that was part of it. I wasn't expecting it to be that dated. Bathroom. The bathroom itself was fine. It was a shower tub combination. Nothing really fancy. They did have some cute pink towels in there too, so that was a little bit different. And those were your beach towels. You want to make sure you bring those back. It had a hair dryer in there, some pretty basic shampoo and conditioner, a different brand than I'm used to seeing, but it wasn't anything fancy. Just your regular storage in the bathroom, not a super big, not 2 sinks or anything like that, just a regular bathroom. Right outside the bathroom is the laundry washer and dryer unit. I am grateful for having that. I love having that option, especially if you're traveling and you're gonna be there for a long period of time. I mentioned that this is also a timeshare property, so the idea here is it's like a home away from home, and so you can do your laundry. They do provide you with laundry detergent. Keep in mind that it's not that fancy, so if you are maybe sensitive to fragrances or anything, you probably want to bring your own stuff. Right next to the laundry area is going to be your kitchen with a little bit of extra seating on the countertop there. There's a couple chairs there if you're going to sit and watch somebody cook, or maybe you're just hanging out while people are in the kitchen. That's there. Kitchen was pretty simple too. I always say that whenever you travel to the WorldMark properties, make sure that you bring your own oil, your own butter, your own seasoning, and your own foil, because they really have cut back on, well, you never really got oil and stuff, but they did cut back a lot on the seasoning. So you're just gonna have those little packets there. And then also that includes salt and pepper. Bring a salt and pepper if you're gonna be cooking a lot or if you're gonna be in the unit for a long time. Inside the kitchen, you can expect a fridge and a stove and oven. It is a full kitchen. Double check on the studio because a lot of times those are partial kitchens, they're not full kitchens, but double check on the website to see. Just check that out. You're gonna have pots and pans and kind of your standard cooking utensils. Lots of plates, lots of glasses, and also different kinds of glasses like coffee, regular water glasses, and then also wine glasses. And you'll have some things like a toaster and a coffee maker with coffee, and you can request more if you need it, and then also tea. Moving on to the living room area. So I mentioned that there's a Murphy pull-out bed. This is pretty cool because usually there's like a couch and the couch converts into a pull-out bed, but in this situation, the Murphy bed was built into the wall, so it came right out of the wall, and it was really comfortable. I actually was talking to my husband about it, and he was saying that he might think that that bed was more comfortable than the one in the room. So keep that in mind if you're getting the Murphy bed. You're not getting gypped or anything like that. It's a nice bed, and then the pillows are there, and you can grab the blankets and any additional sheets you need right there in the closet. That's also available. You're gonna have a little table as well, like seats about 4 people for you to have your lunch or your dinner. And I would recommend going on the patio and seeing if you could sit out there to have your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, because Hawaii is absolutely gorgeous. We had more of like a garden view type situation, but still waking up and opening those blinds and going out there into the patio area was really nice in the morning. And we were higher up on the hill too, so I feel like even though we didn't have like an amazing view, we still had a view. Right next to the patio and between the bed, there's going to be additional storage space there. And I thought that was kind of nice considering that you have somebody staying in the living room. They could keep some of their toiletries or something like that in there, maybe some clothes. You can utilize this space better. So overall, I did like the resort. I don't know that I would go out of my way to stay there again, just given just some things, some minor things, but staff was really good, location was pretty good, beautiful. It's in Hawaii, it's in Maui, so how can you really complain that much? And overall, I think it's about like a 2.5 to 3-star resort property. Moving on to the WorldMark Valley Isle. Okay, so I didn't like this place. I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it for a few reasons. Number one, this is not a WorldMark property. WorldMark has a lease and has a few units at this location. I did read on their website, and let me read it to you so we're all on the same page, but they did recently announce important update about WorldMark Suites at Valley Isle. In March 2024, the land lease for the 14 WorldMark Suites at Valley Isle will expire. Because of this lease expiration, as well as the need for costly renovations to address substantial coastal erosion, also probably units, this resort, which is not managed by Wyndham, will no longer be available for reservations through your WorldMark ownership beyond February 29th, 2024. So, if you're gonna stay there this year, you're gonna stay there this year. Okay. We actually were here 2 nights, not 1. I think I said one before, but we were here 2 nights. The first night we had a 2-bedroom, and the second night we had a studio. We were trying to extend our Maui experience, and like I mentioned, I wanted to review the properties because I hadn't stayed at them before, even though we've been to Maui multiple times. The Valley Isle is north of Kaanapali Beach and north of Lahaina, so it's a little bit farther. It felt like it was closer to the Kaanapali area, which is where we usually frequent. I did like the fact that it was across the street from a lot of restaurants and there's some bars there. I'm gonna do a what I ate in Maui video, but there was also the fish market over there. There's a couple different fish markets, but there's a fish market over there and a grocery store. So for location, if you're leaving that resort and you wanna walk somewhere, it's actually located pretty good. It's not Kaanapali Beach, but it's still located pretty good. It's also a on the ocean property. So literally you open your patio and the ocean's right there. This resort was not owned or operated by WORLDMARK. So when we went to the room, we had an issue closing the door to the patio. And when I called down, while the front desk was helpful, they didn't actually come and fix anything. They said that nobody was there, they couldn't help, and it was kind of just like my problem. And it kind of freaked me out a little bit because we were on the 2nd floor, but we were pretty close to the bottom floor and it didn't feel safe to me. So that was concerning. I didn't like that at all. It's also incredibly dated, incredibly dated. The studio was a little bit better, and actually for sake of time, I'm only gonna put the pictures of the 2-bedroom in this video, but the studio was a little bit better, and it might be because the studio like is more frequently used and maybe the 2-bedroom isn't used that often. There's only 14 units, so that's my assumption, but it was really dated. And it just didn't feel like it was kept up the way that I would expect it to be in Hawaii. When we got on the elevators and went up, it was like there was a light that was like blinking, and it like freaked me out. It reminded me of like a horror movie, and that was weird. And then we go inside and there was, I'll put some pictures. When you entered the unit, there was a kitchen there, and it was a simple kitchen. You had a fridge and you did have some pots and pans, plates, similar to what you would in a normal timeshare. So it was set up that way. I will give them that. There was a living room area right there, and then you enter directly into the living room area. I don't know if it was the lighting too, like the lighting just seemed really dingy kind of. It didn't feel like overly clean to me. I didn't like it. And I don't feel like have I ever come on here and said that I don't like a place? I don't think so. I feel like I'm pretty like middle of the road. Or like, you know, okay, I'm expecting like this and you know, it's close enough, whatever. But no, it wasn't what I was expecting. There's no washer and dryer in this unit. You have to go down to a laundry facility and you have to pay. So that's also another downfall, in my opinion. It's not free even though you're a timeshare owner. The lobby was really pretty. The lobby was nice. When we walked in, like I mentioned, the person at the front desk was good. The lobby was newly renovated. There was some fish there and it was like really like open, and I was like, oh, this is cute. And so I think that also fed into why I was surprised at how the room looked. This resort has 1, 2, and studio rooms, and then the previous resort that I talked about is 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and studio. If you're looking for a bigger situation, you need to go to the other one. And then also if you want to be like right on the water, this one would be a better location, a better pick. And the other one is close to the water, but it's not like right on the water. This was a 2-bedroom, and in the main bedroom you had a queen bed, and there was a bathroom that was kind of shared between the rooms, like right between the queen and then the 2 twins. The queen bedroom bed was fine. It has its own like patio that you can open your blinds and look out. That was pretty, but that was also the door that didn't close very well. And like I mentioned, we were kind of close to the ground, so I didn't love that. But it was fine as far as like practical. Like it was a spacious room. There was a dresser there and a TV, and your bed is literally facing out to the water. So if you don't mind the fact that it's dated and you don't mind the fact that you just don't mind that, you could open the drapes and have a view of the water, and that could be really nice and appeasing to you. Once you leave that bedroom, like I mentioned, there is a bathroom there. So the bathroom's pretty practical. There's a sink and then a door that closes for the toilet. If you're using it at the same time as somebody else, you're able to have that privacy. And then also that's the same thing with the shower. There's some privacy there. It was like the countertop was kind of messed up too. I don't know. There's some storage there as well. I think that people like live here too. I think they live in the Valley Isle units, and then they have some that they rent. So maybe the ones that are lived in are like a little bit better and kept up more. I'm not really sure what happened. After you pass the bathroom, there you'll find the 2nd bedroom, and that bedroom had 2 twin beds, and it didn't really have a view or anything. It had like a facing out to another building. That room creeped me out. It looked haunted. It looked haunted, and during the day it wasn't much better. So I don't know. I guess I would go with the sliding door that didn't close very good over the haunted bedroom, because that was not my favorite. But there's a dresser in there, and there was plenty of storage for if you're staying there for a while. There was a pull-out Murphy bed again in the living room, which was good. That one was a nice bed, pulled out, and so you could probably sleep 2, 4, 6 people in there comfortably. There's also like 2 couches, like a mini one and a regular size one, so you could lay on the couch as well if you wanted to have more people in the unit. Then there was a TV there and another patio, so you could open the drapes and see a beautiful view of the water. Maui is gorgeous, and you did have that option. Or if you just want to let some real light in, so you don't have to use like the dingy lights in there. TV was a regular TV, nothing smart. And then they did have like a little bit of shelving and storage area in the living room itself. Again, that's kind of thoughtful for people that are staying in the living room space, so they don't feel like they don't have anywhere to put their stuff. There's a pool at this resort. We didn't go to it because it was raining, but there's a small pool there with some barbecues around the property. And other than that, like I said, it's kind of set up like more like apartment complex, I would say. And oh, the elevator was so creepy. It was like so old, and wow. I don't know. You know what? You let me know if you've stayed there and if you liked it. I can't recommend it. Unless you just want to be like in an area, you just want to be in Hawaii and you want to be on the beach and you want to be able to walk places and you don't care about your room, you're not going to really be in your room, then maybe this is for you. But if I were to pick between the two, I would definitely go with the Kihei one and not the Valley Isle. But you know what? In a year, you won't even have the option to stay there unless you know, buy or lease from somebody who actually stays there. All right, everybody. Well, that is what I had for my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please leave me a message in the comments. And if you like my content and you like seeing what me and my family are doing on a day-to-day basis, where we're traveling to, you can check me out on Instagram at rubies_best_life, or you can follow us here and see what we're up to, because I post a video every week, or I try to give you some content every week. And so yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.